Honesty, passion, experience. It's Timberwolves Explosion hosted on the Paladino Live Network. And now, your host, Paladino Joey. Extra, extra, hear all about it. Extra, extra, hear all about it. Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? I'm your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awijan. Timberwolves Explosion is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps, and I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to this show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today. As well, the Minnesota Timberwolves, there's some Timberwolves news again. So it's like we're desperate for some Wolves news. That's why it's like, yes, extra, extra. Well, the Timberwolves now have a power forward, or kind of a power forward, or something like that. Jonathan Kuminga indeed does sign with the Minnesota Timberwolves. 2 years, $13 million. The second year is a player option. So, yes, indeedy, here we are on a Wednesday night Timberwolves Explosion. Well, it's the off-season, so random crazy stuff can happen. Training camp is less than a month away. The beginning of training camp, I believe, starts September 22nd is what I heard. So, wow, Jonathan Kuminga signed on August 26th, 2026 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Will he be here for a long time? Will it be a single year? Well, we'll see. Odds are he's going to look for a higher salary at the end of the year because it's a player option. So we'll get to that and all kinds of stuff surrounding this acquisition. And Jonathan Kuminga could have possibly been a Timberwolf, as all things kind of coming full circle from the original D'Angelo Russell trade coming to Minnesota, not going away from Minnesota. Interesting stuff. So the trade acquisition on February 7th, 2020. The Minnesota Timberwolves gave up Andrew Wiggins, a protected 2021 first-round pick, and a 2021 second-round pick. The Minnesota Timberwolves received D'Angelo Russell, Jacob Evans III, and Amari Spellman. Not sure we've heard too much of the other two guys, and even D'Angelo Russell's role has been depleted massively. A lot of people thought he might at best be a spark plug signing if the Timberwolves were crazy enough to sign him or trade for him in the offseason, or a trade deadline, because we were pretty desperate for actual warm blood at the point guard position because Mike Conley was getting so doggone old, even though he had a nice little renaissance at the very end. The goal at the time was to pair Russell with his close friend Karl-Anthony Towns to build a new core for the franchise. And yeah, everyone was pretty excited at the time. This was, of course, before the Timberwolves drafted a guy by the name of Anthony Edwards. So, yep, it was pretty exciting. I thought, there it is, Reggie Marbury and Garnett. There we go. Finally. And kind of the same arrogance and cockiness, too. That was the unfortunate thing, as D'Angelo Russell. Flip Saunders did not like him pretty much the minute the guy got in the car when they were kind of going for a tour and stuff. The D'Angelo Russell just was kind of a jerk and kind of arrogant. And Flip Saunders was like, I don't like him. That's basically what Flip Saunders was. That was when the conversation was, well, the Timberwolves had the number one pick in the draft, and it was going to be Karl-Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, bleep my bleep, Karl-Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, or Emeka Okafor. Crazy to think of how all the things that have happened since then, but we can go on all night with that, of course, but otherwise, yeah, crazy to say the least how, Emeka Okafor is not even in the NBA anymore. D'Angelo Russell's backup at best. Karl-Anthony Towns, well, yeah, we had him for quite a while. There were ups and downs. There were complaints. There were pluses and minuses. He gets traded in the blockbuster deal and wins a championship with the Knicks 2 years later. So, yeah, there's that. I don't know. I don't need to talk any further about it. We get the point. The 2021 first-round draft pick that was protected became Jonathan Kuminga, as he would drop to the 7th pick. It was protected, but luckily, the Wolves stuck around in a certain spot that the Golden State Warriors ended up, that ended up being the pick. So it's okay. It's still it's a high pick, and you're afraid that, oh boy, what if Kuminga ends up becoming a star in this league? And there's always that possibility. What if he's the next, at least Paul George? What if he's the next Kawhi Leonard. Not that we need to talk about him right now, but just saying. Kawhi Leonard was a hell of a draft pick. The Timberwolves passed on both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in the 2011 draft and wound up with a guy by the name of, well, you know, that guy. I guess Paul George was 2010. That's when we took that Johnson, Wesley Johnson. And then the next year we could have had, you know, Kawhi Leonard, and we took Derek Williams. Yeah, that was depressing. He lasted about 5 minutes. Yeah, it was nice while it lasted, wasn't it? It's just crazy. Number 2 overall pick, and the guy's like gone with the wind, you know? Isn't that sad? Evan Mobley, did he ever really amount to a whole much? Yeah, he was pretty good. I shouldn't say that. I'm being stupid. Jalen Green, talented. Cade Cunningham, nice player. Do I look at him as a franchise leader? Giddy, 6th overall. So, okay. Jalen Suggs, God bless him. He's from Minnesota, but I don't know. I don't think he's all that great. So, not one of the best drafts in the history of the NBA, that's for sure. Obviously, there were some good players before somebody comes back and smacks me in the face. Sengun was a pretty good acquisition. Wound up playing for the Houston Rockets, not the Oklahoma City Thunder. Imagine if he was there, too. Oh, God help us. Did the Timberwolves make a draft pick in 21? I thought we did. Maybe we didn't. It was one of those drafts like, man, we had the number 1 pick in the draft last year, and then this year is like nothing. That's depressing, isn't it? That's pretty much about, excuse me, the story there. But Jonathan Kuminga coming to the Wolves. Everything kind of coming back full circle, and it's kind of cool, and it's interesting. It's interesting. As I kind of semi-complained about, the guy isn't much of a rebounder. Not much. 2 years, $13 million, like I talked about. Not much of a rebounder. He's really not like a full-on power forward. It could be a switcheroo between the two guys of, what's their names, Jaden McDaniels and Jonathan Kuminga. It's like might kind of depend, like which one's going to rebound more. I don't think either one of them is a spectacular rebounder. Yahoo Sports is doing its usual spinner Rooney, which I just, I don't know. Maybe they were just too busy, like updating it to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Wow, they didn't wait too long. Is he going to wear number 0? Well, D'Angelo Russell wore number 0. Anyhow, career stats, career numbers. I mean, he's not a terrible rebounder, but I don't know. It's power forwards. You're hoping for like 10. Like Charles Barkley used to say, if you're a power forward in the NBA and you're not pulling down 10 rebounds a game, you're not doing your job. Well, is Jonathan Kuminga a full-on power forward? I don't know. He's 6'7", 255, 225, not 255. He's not Charles Barkley when he was, slightly lighter. Still pretty young, though. October 6th, 2002, that would mean he's turning 24, so still got a nice future, potentially, in this league. Pretty young guy. From Goma, Dominican Republic. The Republic of Congo, basically. So, all right. Democratic Republic of Congo. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah. Got to include that first part. But anyhow, was with the Warriors. Gave us a heck of a time in the series. I remember that very well. How can you forget? In 24-25, the guy averaged 15.3. He actually averaged 16.1 the year before. Rebounding was right around almost 5, but not quite. With it, Golden State last year, he had a career high of almost 6 rebounds a game, but that thing soured between him and Steve Kerr. Probably because Kuminga was performing pretty well in the postseason against the Timberwolves, and it's like Steve Kerr basically was kind of rewarding him with less minutes. And I don't know, the numbers went down except for the rebounding. Only 12 points a game, and with the Hawks, then eventually traded to the Atlanta Hawks, played 16 games there. Only 20 games with the Golden State Warriors last season. Again, things soured with Steve Kerr. Well, from what I know about Steve Kerr, things would sour between me and him too, but that's my own personal opinion, and we'll leave that exactly where it is. Kuminga played about 24 minutes a game with the Warriors. Last season, he averaged 22 minutes a game throughout his career, 16 minutes as a rookie in 70 games, 21 minutes his second year, 26 minutes his third year. This is Jonathan Kuminga, of course, if you didn't know already, 50 times. Played starter-ish kind of minutes, 26 and a half, basically. In his third season, that's when he averaged 16 points a game. So give him minutes, and, he'll give you some production. What's really weird and frustrating is this field goal percentage plummeted after that third year. Like, what the heck happened here? I don't know. Oh no, as Anthony Edwards would say. Field goal percentage is first year 51.3, second year 52.5, third year 52.9, and then the fourth year 45.4. What the heck happened there? What's going on? What's up with that field goal percentage? It's kind of weird. And then 47.6 with Atlanta, 45.4 with Golden State before he was traded to Atlanta. 3-point percentage has been hovering right around, well, he makes 1 out of 3 basically. Though he did get to 37% in his second year. Kuminga, of course, last year again. Literally about 1/3 of his shots go in from downtown, 33.2. So, yeah, that's pretty simple math. Free throw percentage has been hovering around the low 70s and upper 60s. Ugh, that kind of stinks. It's kind of annoying. Career high of 74.6. Again, that third year. He attempted 4 free throws a game. It's not like he's at the line all the time, but he did attempt 5 free throws a game in the 47 games. And again, that he played in his 4th year, and of course against had a pretty good series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's be quite honest. His playoff numbers against the Timberwolves not bad at all. And of course, want to thank StatMuse for this. Of course, let's cite our sources, eh? Yeah. Notice I had to clear my throat first. The first game of the series, it was only a 5-gamer, and the Warriors kind of were, the Wolves were kind of bleeping around, not the Warriors. The Warriors did what they could in that one and beat the Timberwolves in Target Center, much to our chagrin, and you figured, oh boy. Steph Curry going out, and we couldn't even finish them off. It's like, for bleep's sake. And then Jimmy Butler was the hero, and that was just the ultimate middle finger to the Timberwolves. Jonathan Kuminga only had 13 minutes, 7 points in that game. Did add a block and 1 rebound, 1 lousy freaking rebound. But then his role greatly increased as the series continued. 26 minutes in game 2, 18 points, 5 rebounds. All right, and 8 of 11. Yeah, see, he was hitting everything. He was hitting everything. I was getting mad. I was cursing. I was screaming. Not really screaming, but I was just, where your tension just goes way up to the moon, and you just can't believe it. Like, come on, damn it, get out of here, Jonathan Kuminga. Damn you, blankety blank. This was early half of May of 2025. I love that month. But anyhow, the third game, 36 minutes, 30 freaking points. Great game for Jonathan Kuminga. He was probably the best player on the Warriors in that one because what's his name? Jimmy Butler was kind of like, I don't know. He was about as alpha as beta is. You know what I mean? He was much more of a beta than an alpha. By like game 2, game 3, it was really weird. It was odd. And then the next year, of course, he tears his was it his ACL or was it Achilles? I think it was ACL. Yep. Then he still toughed it out to the free throw line, and oh my God! And then I don't know. Well, God bless him. Bless his heart is a better way to put it. 6 rebounds for Jonathan Kuminga. In the 36 minutes, 30 points, 11 of 18 from the floor, couple of blocks too. Son of a gun, even 3 assists, which isn't to strengthen his repertoire. 2 days later, 30 minutes, 23 points. He didn't even rebound the ball once. That's kind of weak. Anyhow, 6 of 13, below 50% in that one, but still a strong performance. And then in the closeout game 5 back to Target Center, 32 minutes, 26 points. This is Jonathan Kuminga, by the way, against the Timberwolves in the playoffs, remember. So strong performances. 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 11 of 23 from the floor. So thank you, StatMuse. Appreciate you. His overall statistics in those 5 games, 27.5 minutes, almost 21 points a game, 3 rebounds, like a little over an assist, and all that good stuff. 7.6 of 14, so over 50%, basically, about 52% versus the Timberwolves in the 5 games, and it's right in front of me there as well. But, I mean, it's interesting. StatMuse, thank you. Appreciate it. It's kind of AI analytic kind of stuff, and it's really a nice website. Highly recommended if you want to get numbers like that. Like how did this guy do against the Timberwolves in the playoff series? So, yeah, it's actually quite helpful. Quite helpful. Well, hopefully he'll be playing in the playoffs for the Timberwolves this year. I would hope the Timberwolves are going to make the postseason. And we'll have to wait and see how that all turns out at the end of the day. Again, he was the 7th pick in the draft. Josh Giddey went 1 pick ahead of him. Jalen Suggs, Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, Jalen Green, number 2, and Cade Cunningham, the franchise pick for the Detroit Pistons, got them the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they couldn't even get out of the second round. As they kind of, I don't know, shot the bed. They almost lost to Orlando in the first round. They almost lost. You do realize that, right? Yeah, they did almost lose. It's pretty ridiculous. And Bones Highland was in that same draft. That's why Bones Highland's a pretty young guy. 26th pick by the Denver Nuggets, and he will return for the Timberwolves. If I didn't mention that in the last episode, I think I did. He did return with the Wolves, minimum contract, but great to have him. It's better than being on a 10-day contract, I'm sure, for him, even though he was a first-round pick. A guy by the name of Bones Highland. Yeah. Rocco Zakarski. Rocco. Sorry, Josh Green. Single year, 14 and about 14.7 for Josh Green. He was part of that LaMelo Ball trade. LaMelo's signed. Yep, so LaMelo and Anthony Edwards, well, they're free agents the same summer. 29, 30. I'm sure they'll both get extensions before that. At least I would hope so. Rudy Gobert next summer actually is not a team option. I'm losing my mind. I think it's a team option, right? Where's Jonathan Kuminga? My brain's stopping. Yeah, free agent is blue. Yeah, that's a player option. Player option's green. Player option's green. Yep, team options are red. So Rudy Gobert has a player option, 38 mil. Is he going to want to raise next summer? He'll be a free agent otherwise. So who knows? It's interesting stuff. Interesting indeed. LaMelo and Anthony Edwards both making about $100 million combined. Well, 90. Nope, that's 88 next year. 80. Well, 90, and then it gets closer to 100 by the third year. In fact, I would say that is over 100 if you do the math. So, but with two players. So, Nashawn Highland instead of Bones. Yeah, now Bones. Now I know why they call him Bones. Nashawn Highland making 2.8. Good for him. Bless his heart. Man. Io Dawson Murray up here, that contract extension. Did we talk about that? I'm pretty sure we did. Player option of 25 and a half in the summer of 30, 31. So 30, 20, 30, 20, 30. Joan Bellinger will probably have a much larger role next season. I got to think so. Trey Lyles is on the Timberwolves as well. A reserve, what do they call that? That would you would call him a depth player at the power forward position, and he is absolutely a power forward, making about 2.5. 2.5. Isaiah Evans, he signed for quite a while. I'm confused a little bit on this one. Yeah, I mean, okay, extension eligible. Yes, Isaiah Evans. God bless him and bless his heart and all that good stuff. We'll see how that all turns out. Jaden McDaniels, free agent in the summer of 29. Summer of 29, just like Anthony Edwards. Wow. Jalen Clark, Jaden McDaniels, LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards. Kind of important, huh? It's kind of important as far as I'm concerned. Cap hold? What's this cap hold nonsense? What do you mean cap hold? We're still Greg Monroe, Joe Ingles, Aaron Brooks, Evan Turner. What? What's going on? What do you mean incomplete roster charge? Please tell me I'm just looking. Okay, yeah, that's for something else. That's if the Wolves are in trouble or whatever. Oh, 114 below the cap, or above the cap. Oh my God. Whew. Lord, 114 above. Yeah, 115 basically. The Wolves will be 115 over the cap and 27, 28. This upcoming year, about $89 million over the cap. Ruh-roh. Fun stuff. Yeah, okay. Anyhow, I got to stop being a nerd and looking at all this. But nope, I mean, he's coming into the starting lineup. He'll be starting with Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Peeler. I'm just kidding. LaMelo Ball. Anthony starting at point guard. LaMelo Ball. Starting at shooting guard. Anthony Edwards. Starting at small forward. Jaden McDaniels. Starting at power forward. Jonathan Kuminga. And at center, Rudy Gobert. And there you go. Valuable players coming in off the bench. Well, all kinds of stuff. Guys by the name of, guys by the name of, I'm so distracted when I see, but Trey Lyles, I suppose, is one of them. Joan Bellinger definitely is one of them. Yep, Io Dawson will definitely be a factor, but he could be like a backup point guard, a backup shooting guard. He's kind of one of those guys. Down to DiVincenzo, we're going to have to wait for his full recovery from Achilles, so that kind of sucks. Jalen Clark, yep, useful guy. You can play a little small forward because he is 6'5". He looks shorter than that, but whatever. Isaiah Evans, we'll have to wait and see. Oh, yeah, that's right. He was that nice rookie that we got who can definitely shoot the basketball. It's like almost forgot about him after all this stuff that's gone on since. It's like, oh, yeah, we have Isaiah Evans. Yeah, yep, he's a shooting guard who can even play some point. 6'6", 186 at the moment. Josh Green's a depth guy. Okay, there's some value. So I think this is a fairly deep team. You have Trey Kaufman-Renn, a very late pick who's very old. He's a 24-year-old already, so sorry for calling him old, but he's been around forever. No, I mean, he was in college like all the way through. Rocco Zakarski definitely has some value. Terrence Shannon, of course, as well. So you like the depth of this team with the addition of Jonathan Kuminga. That's what's kind of exciting. Zion Pullen, will he be pulling his own weight out there? We'll see. Will he be doing something? I don't know. Kaufman-Renn, I don't know how close he is to his ceiling already at 24 years of age, coming in out of Purdue. Not that he's bad, it's just he's probably already at his ceiling, so I don't know how good he's going to be. We'll have to wait and see. Bones Highland definitely has some highlights. We'll have to wait and see. So I don't mean wait and see. I don't know why I keep repeating myself, but definitely a spark plug at the very least. Can be very entertaining. Definitely a talented guy who can carry you on some of his hot streaks, and definitely not somebody I want just rotting on the bench or sitting in sitting in an active role behind the bench most of the year. I think that'd be kind of depressing. I don't think it needs to be like that. Rudy Gobert again. Yep. I mean, obviously he's been around forever. He's a Stifle Tower. Blah blah blah. We know what he can do. We know what he can't do. So definitely he doesn't have the offensive capabilities of other players, but his defensive capabilities, the praying mantis-like presence in the paint is, something of legends. So obviously he's been a wonderful player defensively. He had some great moments last year, but then against the Spurs, it's like he just kind of folded. It was weird. He was incredible against the Nuggets. Awesome against the Denver Nuggets, and just folded versus the Spurs. It was freaking frustrating after the first game. It's like, Rudy who? Gobert what? It's just, come on, man. That was really depressing. So hopefully Rudy Gobert can continue to play a good role with this team, despite him, he's getting to his mid-30s now. Jonathan Kuminga's got a long future ahead of him, which is exciting. It's just, again, how long is he going to be on the Wolves? Vince Germano also kind of stating the guy's ego a bit. And yes, he was a pain in the ass to deal with in that Warriors series. But yeah, apparently him and Steve Kerr were kind of, things weren't all so great. Like he probably thought he deserved a lot more minutes than he was getting. And I can imagine after a good playoff series versus the Wolves that there's, but maybe he kind of rested on his laurels a little too much. And Steve Kerr's like, no, it doesn't work that way, Jonathan Kuminga. You got to be a little better. So you got to continue to, it's just, yes, you did well against the Timberwolves in that series. First of all, we lost, but not that it was his fault or anything. But secondly, you can't just kind of rest on your laurels and just say, okay, I'm starting, damn it. Get out of my way. I'm starting. Hey, what are you talking about? I'm coming off the bench. Bleep you. Bleep you. I'm out of here. Trade me to whoever. And I want $20 million too per year. Well, that was kind of the conversation out there. So he didn't get $20 million. He got about 6.5. Yep. Thankfully, he did come to the Timberwolves. The other possibility finalist was going to be the Lakers. At one point, that would be Vince Germano's club, of course. The Cleveland Cavaliers were once upon a time a favorite, but then ultimately the moves they made in the offseason did not really open the door of opportunity for Jonathan Kuminga. And man, still available on the 26th, probably holding out for as much money as he possibly could get, or whatever role or whatever. We were waiting for the Jonathan Kuminga decision. Yeah, it took even longer than LeBron James's 9,000th decision. Well, it'll be his final decision. I don't think he's playing anywhere other than Philadelphia at the end, unless they get weird and trade him this year, which would be really funny, actually. Maybe they trade him to Cleveland or something if things really suck. And then he goes home and wins a title for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah. End the drought in Cleveland, because it's been a decade, damn it. It's been a decade since the Cleveland Cavaliers won a championship, you see. Yeah, it's a long time. Long. Yeah, well, we won't get in that conversation either. But even Cleveland has had a championship before any Minnesota team since 91. Okay. Oh, but yeah, but on the, at least, core four men's side anyway. Yeah, I know. The Lynx have 4 titles. I know. And the Frost have 2 cups too. I get it. Anyhow, sorry for my babbling. Sorry for my silliness. It's a deep team, though. I like the depth of this team because you even add Isaiah Evans to the mix. So that's great. Like Io Dawson, who can play kind of a third guard. He can play a third guard. And, guys like LaMelo Ball, pardon me, how he's had a frustrating injury history. Well, you have Io Dawson, Mo. That's the good part. Even though, I don't know, do you really look at Io as like a full-on point guard? No, I don't. Can he play it? Yeah. Anthony Edwards can even play point guard. Kind of play like the lead guard role. But it's better. I think both of them are better off the ball. LaMelo Ball is absolutely ball. LaMelo Ball is absolutely a, pass first, who can also score like crazy. A spectacular passer, spectacular leader of the offense kind of a guy. So thrilled to have him. Hopefully he can stay healthy. It's exciting how they came out of the same draft, and those were the 2 guys we were all looking at, and now they're both on the Wolves. So it's always kind of cool when all that kind of comes back full circle, along with Jonathan Kuminga. Like, oh boy, that whole D'Angelo Russell trade, and then the Warriors got the 7th pick. Just watch out. Oh boy, what if he's the next Jimmy Butler? What if he's the next, whoever, Kawhi Leonard, minus like weird stuff going on with the Clippers. I don't know. It's crazy that he's back with Toronto again, potentially, if everything works out in the end. But yeah, it's the depth of the team makes me smile. The lack of size makes me worried a little bit, because I like bigger players. I like balance. I like a real point guard. I like a real shooting guard. I like a real small forward. I like a real power forward. And I like a real center. That's kind of how I think. Like, he can play anywhere and he can play with anyone. B as in B, S as in S. That's what they said about Rubio and Johnny Flynn. How many games did they play together? We're still waiting. We're still waiting for their first game together, by the way. That game's never going to exist. Yeah. It's about as meaningful as the Sacramento Athletics. They don't even call them Sacramento. Even though they're playing in Sacramento, they're just called the Athletics. They can't even use the word Sacramento probably because they don't want to create any merchandise, because they will ultimately be the Las Vegas Athletics, as they're flashing on the screen right now, versus the Twins. Las Vegas Athletics, but not until 2028. That's the annoying part. It's like, it's so weird. So they're playing in a minor league park in Sacramento, California. So weird. But again, that's about how meaningful the whole Flynn and Rubio playing together thing, and they can play together and da-da-da. We can put them anywhere. BS. Just like the city of Sacramento with Oakland. Oakland. I call them Oakland because they've been the Oakland A's forever. One little minor piece of trivia. The Athletics have traveled more than people think. They used to be the Philadelphia Athletics. How weird is that? Isn't that weird? There would have been 2 teams in Philadelphia that were green, the Eagles and the Athletics. Okay, enough. I'm being a nerd. I'm not a geek, I'm a nerd. Nerds come up with interesting facts. Geeks just obsess over things. I'm a nerd. Damn it. I'd rather be a nerd any day of the week versus a geek. If you want to obsess over things, go right ahead. That's up to you. But no. I apologize. I'm losing my mind. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you. The ways to contact me are all over the show description, including paladinolive@gmail.com, paladinolive@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from Vince Germano. You can send voicemails there, voice audio submissions there. It'd be so cool if I could hear from, Vince, Tanae, Benzo in the Bronx. Why not? Dang it. Yeah, you just record yourself with your smart device and then send it to paladinolive@gmail.com. Comment away, man. Comment away. Men and women, too. Women are obviously very welcome. So we'd love to hear from you. At TWolvesTheX. I don't think there was anything new. It's crazy. I actually recorded 2 Timberwolves explosions. And I'm getting the white screen of death here. There might be something. Just people following, but thank you for following. People liking also the Shams Charania bomb. Free agent forward Gorgeous Yang has agreed to 1 year, $3.9 with the Golden State Warriors. So I guess he's their at least roster replacement for a guy by the name of Jonathan Kuminga. Man, still getting annoyed with people upstairs that just don't know how to sit down. Why can't they sit down? If you're that hyper, go outside. That'd be so nice. But anyhow, enough. I'm getting weirder and weirder by the minute. Thank you again. At TWolvesEX, at TWolvesEX, Timberwolves_explosion for Instagram, the Facebook page. I can't even get to it because I can't get in my regular full account. I had created a secondary account years ago or months ago and never got into my original account. So I don't know what to do. It's sad and frustrating. With that said, thank you so much for listening. And this might be it for a while until the season preview, I'm guessing. I don't think there's going to be another ownership change. Hopefully there's no bad news. Please, Lord, let there be no bad news whatsoever. Absolutely no bad news. No bad news. Please, zero. Zero bad news. Let's not even think of what any bad news is. I'd like to see a major success for this team, and the depth is good, just the size is lacking a little bit. But who knows what this team might do between now and the trade deadline. So trade deadline's not till February. So we'll see what happens. With that said, thank you so much. Now that I've said that 10 times, God bless you. And we'll be back to talk Timberwolves as we head towards closer and closer towards 26-27 season.